Since 1991, Dakota Lion Sight and Health has worked tirelessly to enable the restoration of sight and health through recovery and distribution of tissue for transplant and for other important medical uses. In 2010, after extensive fundraising efforts, a new dedicated eye bank and tissue recovery facility located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota was completed. The state-of-the-art building features a dedicated laboratory, 2 surgical recovery suites, in-house sterilization, and office space. In addition to Dakota Lion Sight and Health's headquarters in Sioux Falls, we also have offices in Rapid City, South Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota, and Fargo, North Dakota. Today, our organization operates as the only locally based nonprofit eye and tissue bank in South Dakota and North Dakota, with outreach to western Minnesota and northern Nebraska. This area covers over 150,000 square miles and includes more than 1.6 million people. Our staff of over 40 highly trained full and part-time employees works closely with healthcare professionals, medical researchers, and the families of donors to ensure the life-changing power of each donation is available to all in need. Dakota Lion Sight and Health's primary focus includes facilitating the eye and tissue donation process, education, and donor family bereavement services. Through eye and tissue donation, each of us has the power to give hope and change the lives of others. Eye donation, giving the gift of sight. Eye donation is utilized to help people regain or improve their vision. The part of the eye used for this purpose is called the cornea. The cornea is the eye's outermost layer. It is the clear layer at the front of your eye and focuses light into the eye to allow you to see clearly. When a cornea is damaged by disease, injury, or infection, it can block or distort light entering your eye and result in reduced vision or loss of sight. One of the diseases that can cause corneal damage is Fuchs dystrophy. Fuchs dystrophy usually affects both eyes and is primarily inherited, though it may affect family members in different ways. With Fuchs dystrophy, fluids build up in the cornea, causing it to swell and thicken, resulting in blurred or cloudy vision. The effects of Fuchs dystrophy gradually worsen over time until everyday tasks like reading or driving become impossible. When it reaches this point, a cornea transplant is required to improve or restore a person's vision. Another major cause of corneal damage and loss or reduction of vision is injuries. Corneas can be damaged in many ways, including scratches, coming into contact with foreign bodies, and chemicals. While corneas can heal themselves, serious injuries often require a transplant surgery. Today, over 12 million people worldwide could benefit from a cornea transplant. Dakota Lion Sight and Health utilizes the most advanced equipment and techniques to recover and prepare donated corneas for transplant. The corneas are distributed to surgeons who transplant tissue to improve or restore sight. Virtually anyone can be an eye donor. Eye donation does not require matching blood types or age. The quality of your vision also doesn't affect your ability to be a donor. Over 85,000 cornea transplants are performed each year in the United States, and more than 95 to 98% of these operations are successful. Dakota Lion Sight and Health facilitates 850 to more than 1,000 cornea transplants each year. Many of these recipients live and work within your community. A single cornea donor can restore the sight of 2 people. These successful transplants allowed people to regain their vision and live their lives to the fullest. Tissue donation. Dakota Lion Sight and Health also recovers tissue that is distributed to tissue banks partners nationwide. Donated tissue can include bone and tendons used to repair injuries, restore mobility, and can be used for reconstructive procedures that may prevent amputation. Veins are utilized to restore circulation. Heart valves can repair potentially life-threatening cardiac defects. Skin may be used for reconstructive procedures and advanced wound healing. Donated tissue may also be used for a wide variety of medical research programs that are working on improving and advancing healthcare for all. A single tissue donor can restore the health of over 75 people. Approximately 1,750,000 tissue transplants are performed annually in the United States. and it's estimated that over 1 in 20 Americans will require a tissue transplant during their lifetime. Educational outreach. Sharing information and educating community members and healthcare providers in our area are also important parts of the work that we do at Dakota Lions Sight and Health. The Dakota Lions Sight and Health outreach team meets with high school students, driver's education classes, civic organizations, religious groups, college and university students, and many other groups to explain how eye and tissue donations improve lives and why being a donor is so important. We also work with healthcare professionals within our 4-state area, including nurses, surgeons, first responders, and surgical techs, to ensure they have the knowledge and experience with the donation process for their important role in the life-changing gift of eye and tissue donation. Dakota Lions Sight and Health is accredited by the Eye Bank Association of America, the American Association of Tissue Banks, and is approved by the South Dakota Department of Public Safety, South Dakota Board of Medical and Osteopathic Examiners, and the North Dakota Department of Health Division of EMS and Trauma to provide continuing education credits for emergency medical services personnel. Additionally, our organization is approved to provide continuing education credits and certifications for nurses and social workers in North Dakota, Nebraska, Minnesota, and South Dakota. Donor family support and bereavement services. Dakota Lions Sight and Health provides support for donor families through our Donor Family Care Program. This program helps people during their grieving process through personal outreach with meetings, letters, cards, and phone calls. The Dakota Lions Sight and Health Donor Quilt Program allows families to add a quilt square to these beautiful memorials. They're housed within the Dakota Lions Sight and Health building and are also displayed at various events. Most of the quilt squares feature images or sentiments that share insight into the donor's life and how much they meant to the donor's families, loved ones, and their communities. The Tree of Remembrance is another way families can honor their loved one's gift of sight and health. Dakota Lions Sight and Health also hosts annual events that recognize individual donors. These meaningful events honor donors, donor families, and allow transplant recipients to share their story and show their gratitude.
Something just told me, yes, this is the right thing to do.
Without that, I eventually would not be able to see it all.
He passed away a year ago.
Okay.
And you have one of his corneas.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Her gratitude and thankfulness and gratefulness is so big.
Donation myths. Even today, some myths about donations exist. Some of these include that doctors may not work as hard to save the life of a donor. The truth is, tissue recovery only takes place after all life-saving efforts have been completely exhausted. Another myth is that organized religions do not support donation. In fact, all major religions in the United States support donation, and many encourage their members to become donors. Some people believe that a family history of medical illness or advanced age means they cannot donate tissue. The reality is the science of eye and tissue donation is always advancing, so you should never consider yourself ineligible to be a donor. It is also a myth that you or your family may not be able to afford to donate tissue. This is false because the cost of donation is never passed on to donor families, and all family support programs by Dakota Lions Sight and Health are completely free of charge. Finally, some fear that being an eye tissue or organ donor means that you or your loved one cannot have an open casket funeral. All donors are treated with the utmost care and respect. If an open casket funeral is desired, donors can be prepared to appear completely natural and show no signs of donation. Dakota Lions Sight and Health works closely with funeral homes to ensure donors are suitable for any funeral style chosen by their loved ones. Get involved. There are many ways you can get involved with organ and tissue donation. The most important is to become a donor. Surveys have shown that 95% of Americans believe it is important to be a donor, but nationwide, only 54% have registered to be a donor. In our region, approximately 70% of licensed drivers have registered to become a donor. It is quick and easy to register. You can register to be a donor through your local Department of Motor Vehicles when you receive or renew your driver's license, or register online at dakotasite.org. You can also register at registerme.org. You can learn more about eye and tissue donation and events at Dakota Lions Sight and Health's website or Facebook page. For proof of completion of this eye and tissue educational video, or if you would like to test your knowledge, we invite you to visit our donor quiz page at dakotasite.org/donor quiz. Dakota Lions Sight and Health. People like you make the restoration of the gifts of sight and health possible.